Sales Influence Podcast, where we talk about finding the why in how people buy. I'm your host, Victor Antonio. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for lending me your ears. Today, I want to pull off a hat trick. Yes, I'm going to pull off a hat trick. And here's the hat trick. What if I can show you how to take away or take back a discount from a customer, still make more money, and make the client happy? That's right. That's the hat trick. What if I can take away the customer's discount, still make more money off them, and keep them super happy? Are you ready to hear the hat trick? Oh, this is going to be good. This is going to be good. Let's talk about discounting. Let's just talk about discounting and setting reference point before I show you the hat trick. Now, here's what typically happens. Let's say you have a product that costs $1,000, right? And the customer comes back at you, so forth and so on, and finally negotiates a 20% concession on your part. In other words, a 20% discount, which means you sell them the product at $800, right? And so the customer's happy, you're somewhat happy, your manager's probably not as happy, but that's another story. But you're happy, the customer's happy, it's a win-win, right? Now, come year two, where do you think the customer is going to start their negotiation? At 1,000 or 800? If you guessed 800, you would be correct. So now they're going to say, well, last year I paid 800, totally forgetting the fact that you gave them a discount. And they're going to ask you for another discount, right? So let's say this time you say, well, look, I'll give you 10% discount. Now you go from 800 to 720. So in less than 2 years, you went from 1,000 to 720, which is a total of almost over 30%. Now, keep this in mind that this is what happens in the market. Customers keep asking for discount. It's part of their nature, right? And so because it is part of their nature, we have to deal with it. But the problem with discounting is several things. First problem is when you, again, discount, you're basically discounting or resetting your perceived value. You're undercutting your value because why else would you discount it if you really thought it was valuable? Number two, the customer comes to expect a discount every time they come to the negotiation table or every time they come to buy something from you. Number three, which is the crux of this podcast, is that taking the discount away becomes difficult. If I paid $720, it's hard to get me to pay $1,000 again, right? That's like taking it away from me. I feel robbed. I'll get angry. So how do we take back the discount, make more money, and still keep the customer happy? Here comes the hat trick. Now, the most effective way to take back a discount without the client getting mad is that you label the discount. Listen carefully, this is important. You label the discount and you attach a time frame. Label the discount and maybe even attach a time frame. Let me give you an example, because this is going to save you money. In fact, I want you to share this podcast with anybody on your team who's in sales, and if you're a manager, share it with your sales team. Let's say that right now we're going through this pandemic, this COVID crisis. What if a customer comes to me? I got the product at $1,000. Customer comes to me, says, Victor, I'd love to buy from you, but is there any way, Victor, I can get a discount? And I said, look, we don't give discounts out, but given the environment we're in, we have this program called the COVID-19 Emergency Discount. It's called COVID-19 Emergency Discount. And you can give it any way. You call it the Disaster Relief Discount. You can call it the Pandemic Policy Discount. You come up with your own name, but you give it a name. Basically, you're labeling the discount and letting the customer know why they're getting a discount. They're not getting a discount because you're giving it to them. You're giving them a discount because of a special circumstance. In this case, the pandemic. So whether it's the COVID-19 discount, the disaster relief discount, the pandemic policy discount, you come up with the name. When you give it a name and a label, the customer understands already intuitively without you having to say it. It's implied, implicit in the discount that this is a temporary discount. It's not a permanent discount. It's a COVID-19 discount. It's a coronavirus discount. It's a pandemic discount. It is not a status quo discount. And so when you give it that label, customers get that. And let's say that it's 20%. That's the pandemic discount. Let's call it the pandemic discount, 20%. Now, what's going to happen over time? The market's going to start recovering. Well, let me pause here. The reason we want to give that discount is to show, one, concession to the client. That always makes them feel a little better. But also, by labeling it the pandemic discount, we're showing empathy. We're letting the client know, hey, man, we understand what's going on in the market. And we also understand, Mr. Customer, that it must be impacting your business. And we value your business. Therefore, what I want to do, my company wants to do, is put aside this special discount favor called the pandemic discount. And that's why that's what you're transmitting. That's what you're communicating to the client, that you care and you're taking action by giving them a discount. Boom, it is locked in. Now, over time, you know what's going to happen. Eventually, we're going to come out of this. And when we come out of this, we need to take that discount back. Now, because you labeled it, the customer understands that it's not a permanent discount. It is a labeled temporary discount. And let's say that this year starts going super well. I'm being optimistic. Let's say this year starts going super well. Things start turning around. September, we see some movement. October, we're seeing great movement. The economy's kicking in. I know I'm being overly optimistic here, but allow me to see pink skies right now. And somewhere around September, October, you send out an email saying, it's a notice saying, and again, you can start in October or November, letting your customers know that the pandemic policy, the pandemic discount, the Corona discount, whatever name you gave it, will be ending December 31st at midnight. Now, the customer's not going to get mad because they already expected this to go away. They see the economy turning around, so they understand why this discount has to come to an end. So what do you think a lot of them are going to do? A lot of them are going to put in extra orders so they can take advantage of that discount. Think of the mindset there. They go, okay, end of the year, after January 1st, we're going to go back to $1,000. You know what? Let's buy some extra and let's put it in inventory, and, it'll really save us money going into the following year. So what has just happened? I've taken the discount away. The customer orders more because they want to get in on the deal because it's about to expire. And they understand that, and they're happy because they actually bought more and saved 20%, and in January 1st, you go back to your original pricing, and that, my friends, is the hat trick. Taking back the discount, you're going to make more money, and your customer's going to be super happy because they took advantage of a discount before it expired. Let me know how that strategy can work for you. Give that some thought, because when you label a discount, you are basically transmitting to the client that this is temporary, not permanent. And that is it for this Sales Influence podcast. Don't forget to leave me some feedback on iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, Pandora, Spotify. Let me know what you think. I'd greatly appreciate it. Hey, can you do me a favor? This is the only thing I want from you. Can you simply share this with at least one person? That's all I'm asking you. I think this podcast deserves one share from you. What do you think? Anyway, please do that. And if you haven't checked out the Sales Velocity Academy, check it out. Over 50 courses, 500 videos. We're adding content, my books for free. If you're serious about increasing your sales velocity, go to salesvelocityacademy.com. Lastly, I want to thank you for listening. This is Victor Antonio, always reminding you. Let's wait for the drop. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Selling ain't hard when you know how. Take care. Hi, I'm Victor Antonio. I'm an author, sales trainer, and keynote speaker. I'm often asked, what makes a great speaker? Is it someone who delivers real content that the audience can use? Is it someone who engages the audience so they're part of the learning experience? Or is it someone who can motivate an audience to push them beyond their comfort zone and discover new abilities? The answer is yes. But the most important thing to remember is that I'm not there to look good. I'm there to make my client look good. Simply put, it's never about me, and it's always about them.